Hey everybody, it is Cyborg, and I'm joined once again by temporary username. You can call him Temp though. And we are here for Injustice Year 3, issue number 2. So if you have not watched, I say this every single time, but I can't stress it enough, if you've not read the issues, or at least watched the prior episodes to this series, definitely go do so, because there's great stuff in this series, and I do not want you to get spoiled ahead of time. So definitely go check out previous episodes and then get caught up, and then come back to us. Once you're done with that, like the video, subscribe, and share with some friends, because we could definitely use that and definitely appreciate that. So with that said, let's dive into year number 3, issue number 2. So let me pull up the comic here, and we are good to go. Okay, so first off, silly Batman picture from the cover aside. So we see Superman, or I guess it's Sinestro that throws the guy in, throws down one of the soldiers or policemen that was working with Harvey Bullock, Gordon, and all of them to capture some of Superman's people. He throws him down in front of Superman, who's sitting in front of or on a throne in the Hall of Justice like a damn dictator king. He is just looking so menacing. And
still in the Yellow Lantern outfit too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
surprising.
Well, I mean,
I didn't think that was going to be.
He's not even taking that ring off. He ain't taking it off. And I like that they put like the blackness over his eyes too. Like it's very, he looks full on menacing now. Like this, and the black gloves and everything. It looks really good. I'm in agreement with you when you said that looks good.
Oh yeah.
Did we get an alternate attire like this in the game? Probably not, because these were written well past the game's. Obviously, the game was out before this was even written at this point, which is a shame, because this would have been great.
Well, for some highlights, for one thing, I love this is by far my favorite Superman logo on his chest. Oh my gosh, I just want to melt that thing and sell it. It looks so good.
Yeah, it is good.
Oh, you got the Sinestro V as well, which looks really cool.
Yeah. Here's hoping we get some alternate attires from this comic series in the actual Injustice 2 game. Like, give us a Yellow Lantern Superman. That would be fantastic. Well, I guess we don't get attires, but you know what I mean. Gear. Give me some Yellow Lantern gear for him. That would be fantastic. With that said, so he's thrown down in front of Superman. Superman's basically interrogating him about, where did you hide the people that you took from us? He's pleading he doesn't know. Then Superman says, I can tell when you're lying. I can see your footprints off on the streets. I can see your fingerprints all around here. I can even hear your heartbeat. You better tell me where they are. And he says, you know what? I can see your wife. She's over there. Looks like the students actually like her. What a dick. I mean, like, I know we have to say this almost like each issue, and it's not surprising, but this is Superman being completely hypocritical, and this isn't the first time. Obviously not the first time. But man, what a prick, though. Like, he says it in such a way, like, it'd be a shame if something were to happen to her. And, like, fuck you. This all became because your precious little wife, Lois, go fuck herself, Lane, and her child died, which, yeah, that is unfortunate. She was innocent, so I shouldn't be mocking her. But at this time, Superman is just pissing me off.
Yeah, no, oh man, like he's gone. Like I feel like this does a better job than the game itself did of telling us that Superman is gone. He's not coming back. He's gone forever.
Yes.
The Superman we knew is dead.
He's full on supervillain at this point. Like, there is no redeemable quality anymore to him. He is, yeah. And no, I agree with you. These comics in general are way better at telling the story of this entire thing, honestly. But yeah, so I'm excited. Anyways, so yeah, he kind of threatens his wife, and then the guy says, look, I don't know, and then he has nothing to tell him, and Sinestro says, well, I guess we'll see about that. And then we cut to the Tower of Fate, and Harley is talking to the Flash. I like that she's kind of like opening up to him. She says, my Puddin', Green Arrow, Dina, someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Superman took them all away, and she's kind of sad, and she's kind of, using Flash as an ear to listen, since he's tied to a table and can't walk away even if he wanted to. I love the line where she says, I realize it's probably hard for you to sympathize, seeing as I've strapped you to a table and electrocuted you a little bit.
Yeah, who checked that off? Who greenlighted that?
I don't know. It is a bad idea. She's been good thus far. I mean, she's been behaving, but yeah, that is a horrible. I don't think she's quite proven herself to like leave her alone with the Flash tied up. That's
especially the Flash. Like if it was like Cyborg, who's just been consistently been a dick for no reason,
yeah.
Then I'd be like, yeah. But fucking, you don't leave the Flash alone with Harley Quinn. My gosh.
I know, especially because Batman's already like shown that he doesn't quite trust her. Like he was already questioning that she be helping them and fighting alongside of them. Yet he's apparently okay with her like monitoring the guy that like he purposely wanted to try and bring in, so that way they can hopefully turn him to their side. But yeah, that's kind of funny. But I mean, it's what she does. She is a psychiatrist at the end of the day, so maybe she can break through. That would be a hell of a way to get Flash on his side using Harley Quinn. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah. Anyways, that's what's happening here. Is she's attempting, but she's broken, or she's interrupted by Zatanna. They need to go. Let's see here. So then they appear into a room, and they're in the home of Jason Blood. Loving the fact that all of Zatanna's magical spells are backwards, which is obviously, as we know, her thing. Anyway.
Refresh me. Jason Blood's the one in the green blazer, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, gotcha.
Or no, Jason Blood, yeah, because that's who we later find out is Etrigan. So, yes, so Jason Blood is the one in the green blazer, and he said, Harley Quinn, is asking who some of these people are. She points out that she thinks Constantine is hot, and that he's even hotter, or prettier, I should say. He's even prettier when Zatanna mentions that he's dangerous. Constantine kind of breaks down the scenario and explains their plans currently. The losses of lives, the people that have been taken, the fact that they have people captive as well from Superman's team. And he explains why they haven't used magic against Superman, because I'm sure as readers, we're all wondering, why haven't the big guns come out? Why haven't Zatanna and Fate played their hand? Why weren't they there for the big battle? And he kind of sheds some light on this, and it actually makes good sense, because he says they feel this, powerful magical force like looming, and they don't want to act because they feel like Superman's working with somebody that has great magical power themselves. So they're kind of, but instead of playing their hand, they want to research it more and figure out who that is, what exactly they're dealing with, so there's no surprises. While this is all going on, Harvey Bullock gets kind of weirded out. He's a talking chimp, or a talking monkey, and he's in way over his head. He's not into magic, none of this. He's just, way over his head. And he says, I'm out. So he goes, opens the door, and after he opens the door, Detective Chimp says, you're a detective, and from what I hear, you're a good one. I knew your commissioner. He and I solved a few murders together. Jim Gordon was a good guy. He didn't care what I was. He only cared about solving the case, and he cared about the victims. You think you're outside the comfort zone? And then he explains why he himself is out of his comfort zone. I mean, he's a talking chimp. But he tells him to stay for the victims. And then Harvey Bullock kind of looks like he's going to change his mind. All of a sudden, the cat freaks out. And I'm not even sure who that guy is. Pointy ears with devil horns over there. Some demon. But yeah, the cat freaks out. He tells him to go investigate. And he says something's coming. Meanwhile, Jason Blood yells, seal's broken, which is because Harvey Bullock opened the door, so their little magical seal, basically what's going on to hide them, has been broken, which seems like a little bit of a oversight that just opening the door would break that seal. Maybe they should have warned.
Probably mention that.
Hey guys, just so you know, there is this powerful being out there that we're not sure who it is, but if you need to open up a window because it's a little stuffy in here, or you need to go out to smoke or whatever, maybe just don't. Or at least let us know. We can maybe extend the force field a little bit. But no, they didn't do that. And poor Harvey Bullock He caused all this going on. So they all panic.
Two things right there, though.
Sure.
For one thing, I blame Constantine for smoking indoors, because clearly they would have had a rule for that. But second of all, this is kind of... Well, I don't know. I feel like... We'll get to it.
You want me to reveal
we'll
it? Yeah, let's reveal it, because I know what you're probably referring to. But anyways, they all panic, and they freak out. Jason Blood jumps towards the door as Detective Chim's telling him to close the door. Harvey Bullock's trying, he can't because the force is coming in. It's just a beaming light pushing through, and he says, Jason Blood takes the front and he's trying to hold the doors closed. He says, "Get behind me," and gone form of man rises the demon Etrit, and as he's calling Etrigan the demon, he is just obliterated. His body's obliterated. We find out that Harvey Bullock is obliterated in this as well. It's hard to tell because it looks like it's just one body that's decimated.
Yeah, I thought he was injured. I did not think... Because it shows him behind the door going flying backwards, so I did not think he was taken down.
No, that was Detective Chimp going behind the door.
Oh, okay. Let me look again then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No shit. Okay.
So we just see one body, it looks like. So I thought it was just Jason Blood, but it turns out Jason Blood and Harvey Bullock are both destroyed here, but Detective Chimp was, like you said, guarded by the door, so he managed to get a little lucky there. And then, boom, right up front and center, looming over the house in ginormous fashion, Spectre. Spectre is that magical force seemingly working with Superman. And yeah, I know you're bummed. I liked Harvey Bullock too.
Well, I am bummed about that because they had a really good moment there. It's like, come on, we're after the same thing.
Sure.
Stay. And then he gives that facial expression like, you know what, you're right. And all that is now negated. All that means anything now. So, yeah. But also the Spectre.
Well, tell me why you're disappointed. Disappointed because he's on the side, seemingly on the side with Superman. Where are you at on this?
Well, I think there's there's a smart way to write the Spectre on either side. But man, did I want him on like one reason why I'm playing Blue Beetle in Injustice 2 is because he's on Batman's side. I don't know if I could bring myself to play the character if he had not.
So you would have played Shazam. I mean, I know we all know what happens in the game without spoilers, but
yeah,
Shazam at this point is working with Superman, and you're cool with that, but Spectre not?
Well, Shazam was it was an interesting little accident. I never really intended to play Shazam, but gameplay-wise, it was like magic. It's like, wow, this is a perfect fit. Really, even though Beetle was also a really good fit for me, maybe even debatably a better fit, Shazam was just so intuitive, and it's like immediately I picked up the character, and it's like it was magic. Beetle I had to work a bit. Even though on paper he's a perfect fit for me, I really had to put in the time with Beetle.
Yeah.
This year, also, Shazam, you gotta look at why he was with Beetle. I can forgive a Shazam who's...
Why is it Beetle?
Spoilers. No, I can rationalize why Shazam was working with Superman. I cannot rationalize why Spectre's working with... Spectre should fucking know better, but maybe there's something we don't know, but it is absolutely...
Well, yeah, it is the start. It is just the start. So we don't know Spectre's motives. We don't know if he's even working with Superman or if he's just out for himself, like he's out to take out who he thinks is doing whatever. There's no point that it actually says that he's working with Superman, other than that's what their assumption is, that there is this magical force that potentially is working with Superman.
He may very well be neutral, yeah?
Yeah, I don't even think Superman or any of them have mentioned the fact that they have any sort of magical backup. So at this point, it's just speculation. So we got to see it play out before we can get too far into how we feel about it, I guess.
Very true, yes.
So anyways, let's jump to the next chapter here. It's good to know that Etrigan himself did not die from this. It looks like, because it was just his human host, but that sucks.
Yeah.
Now it's just Etrigan in his demon form, and he's in hell. So I don't know exactly how Etrigan works. If he can get another host, if he's just trapped in hell, or if he can at least get out of hell in his demon form. I don't know exactly how it works. I do like the character, but I don't know much about the character.
Well, my understanding is he was a slave to the host. I thought he didn't want to be part of the host, but that was part of the contract. And So, but if you look at, and actually, this is really well written.
Yeah.
When Etrigan explains to his demon, who he just fucking takes all his anger out on, which is great. he
I love. Hold on. I love the panel where he just tosses them in the background, and he's like flying upside down in the background.
But he looks so bummed out, you know, and
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked him from the Justice League animated series,
Yeah,
so I hope this is not the last we see of him. He's very tight.
Sure. But yeah, it is great to see all these characters as a side note. We're getting, like we mentioned that in the last issue that this cast is tremendous already, and we're just getting more with Spectre, now Etrigan. It is just hitting all cylinders.
I did not expect to see the Spectre. Oh my! When I saw that, I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Oh."
It makes sense because I was wondering like, what could the magical force be? I was thinking like Phantom Stranger, but who else is out there? And yeah, that was a nice surprise. But yeah, continuing on, we do have Etrigan. He's talking to his little demon slave or whatever, and he explains that his human host has died. So now he's abandoned here in hell. And then we jump back to Constantine, who's next to a skeleton, which is just disturbing, but good artwork nonetheless. And Zatanna's just trying to keep the protecting shield up inside the house. I love that. I love how she said that too. Not the fact that it's backwards, but I love that she said protect all inside this house. Like, that is just such a... These magic users are so damn interesting. Like Zatanna, Dr. Fate, Constantine, Spectre. I mean, these are some of the best characters. So this is wonderful to see them all together like this.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting to read her shit backwards. It's something I have to cue myself.
Oh, you're just like, what is this gibberish? And then I
thought it was some abracadabra shit. I had no idea.
Yeah, all of her words are backwards. It's not like spelled. It's not organized backwards. It still says protect first, but yeah, you just got to read the word from backward or back end to frontward. So yeah, she says protect all inside this house, and then she's holding up the field. Batman says, what is it that we're going up against? Constantine, nobody's really sure what's going on. The guy sends the cat out to take a look. And meanwhile, we see Harley, who notices that Detective Chimp is down. They're asking if he's alive. Constantine says Alfred says he's alive. And then Harley says, but his breathing's shallow. And then this great moment right here. She says... And his little hat fell off. And she's just holding the hat. Damn you, Harley. She's just so great all the time. So wonderful. His little hat. And his little hat fell off. She's just upset about the little fucking like Sherlock Holmes hat. Okay. Just reminds me of the time where she was talking about like, don't worry, little mustache, I won't let them hurt you or whatever. Oh, she's so fun.
There's a real sincerity to Harley in the Injustice saga. I'm a fan.
But yeah, then they find out that his name is Clarion. So now we got a name. I didn't catch that before, but his name is Clarion. And they ask what he sees through the cat because it looks like he can see through his cat's eyes, basically like a familiar. And they say this isn't good, it's the Spectre. And Spectre's just kind of wrecking havoc trying to get inside the house. And so they're looking for an exit. And here's some great moment here where Batman says, look for a cellar door. And Constantine freaks out, says, are you kidding? That's the spirit of vengeance out there. You think he's going to be fooled by the great strategy that is hiding in another room? And then Batman, I'm trying to. And then Constantine goes off, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to take control. Well, you need to do better. This isn't your world, mate. This is capes and tights and punching bad guys in the face until they don't get up again. You can't control this. You think you can protect us from the Spectre? And then he points down, or he makes notice of the skeleton that's laying on the floor. He just reduced one of the most powerful sorcerers in the world to a stain in the carpet. Look at you. You can barely walk. And then Catwoman tries to intervene to calm things down, as she seems to be used to doing now, though she'll take her shots at Damien when she can, of course. And then Constantine doesn't let up. He says, you're being held up by painkillers and stubbornness. Your blood are useless. He almost looks like Captain Boomerang, you're bloody useless. And then he gets punched right in the face by Batman and just knocked out, just right onto the ground. Good shot there. Good interaction. Very Constantine. And so then Zatanna's trying to hold things out. Batman says he's going to go out. So he just steps outside the door. Because his reasoning is, you guys are, well, he was telling Catwoman, you're a criminal, you stay in here, but he says, that's the spirit of vengeance out there. He punishes criminals. He and I have something in common. So he goes out there. He calls Spectre by his name, and Spectre responds back. And then Batman says, I want to talk. One man of vengeance to another. So then they have a discussion. Constantine wakes up from being knocked the fuck out, and he says, man, the bollocks, the size of, or he says, Jesus, bollocks, the size of the coconuts. Brilliant. I don't know, I just made him sound there. Yeah. He's just so impressed that Batman would just walk out into somebody that could just obliterate him in less than a second. Batman says, you're supposed to be a spirit of justice. You killed a good, innocent man in there. His name is Harvey Bullock. And Spectre counters back, do not think to lecture me, little bad. He stood beside a demon. So then the others that are inside, Zatanna and the rest, say the attack has stopped, so let's get the hell out of here. And she says, backwards, she says, transport all to the House of Fate, or to the Tower of Fate, I should say. So reading backwards can be sometimes difficult.
Yeah, even I'm kind of struggling here.
But yeah, she says, transport all to the Tower of Fate. So she basically teleports them all back. And then Spectre realizes what's going on. What? And he calls him a deceiver. How have you done this? Where have the magic users gone? How have you hidden them from me? And all of a sudden, Zatanna says, appear, and away. And she grabs Batman, and she's holding on to the cat as well, and teleports them back seemingly to the Tower of Fate as well, as Spectre has been duped, and he says, no. Then we get a great moment between Constantine and Batman, where Constantine explains that, or Batman outright just calls Constantine out on it and says, you did that on purpose, you wanted to rile me up, and Constantine explained, yes, I purposely made you angry, that's the Batman I need out there. So yes, he's trying to get the best Batman, not one that plays it safe or whatever. So he wants Batman on his A game, and sometimes it takes him to get angry to do so. So yeah, and that's where it ends. So that's the issue.
Well, I'll say that, let's start positive. Spectre looks really good. Even though I prefer Pants Spectre, the No Pants Spectre really has a good showing here. So
all of them look really good for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah,
the art is pretty good.
Poor Huntress still hasn't really done shit.
No, yeah.
She flew a plane. That is her grand contribution.
She did do that.
Even that didn't work out well. What's up?
Yeah, no, I was like, she did do that.
God, part of me was really hoping they'd let the dialogue play out between Batman and Spectre, but I guess there really is no arguing with Spectre. Spectre's a guy who's pretty much made up his mind. So
I agree with you, though. Those two interacting is incredibly interesting to me. So I would have liked to seen that come out more. And I would imagine this isn't the last we see of Spectre. I think this is going to be an ongoing story, so hopefully we get more interactions and really get an idea of where Spectre's at. I don't think either of us know what the hell Spectre's whole play in all of this is. As obviously, as we alluded to earlier, we don't know where he really stands or what's really going on, but I'm really excited with you because some of these characters, we don't know what happens with them in Injustice 1, like I said, because that came out before this. So we really have no idea who lives and who dies out of these these characters. So what is their stance? What role do they play? And this may set the table for Injustice 2. You know, like if they play a prominent role here, even though this takes place before Injustice 1, if they show a good or if they have a good showing here, it probably raises their stock a little bit for potential options for Injustice 2. So I don't know. I mean, we know who's on the roster for Injustice 2, but you know what I mean for like DLC and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So.
I mean, there's always the risk with these comics that you're not going to get an explanation. Spectre could be treated as a barrier, and we may never see him again. I don't know. I mean, That's kind of the beauty of this little project of ours is we're all at the same spot, so
Yeah.
we're all on the same level in terms of predictions.
Sure.
So I hope we see him again. And I hope. I mean, there's also the chance we may see him again, but it doesn't really give us any resolution. I mean, Superman has killed innocent people. He really shouldn't be on the neutral list for Spectre, in my opinion. But I mean, like, if they write it well, then I'll take my bowl of soup and walk on. Like
And
that's
to their credit, they have written a lot of this really well. So let's, give them the benefit of the
yeah.
doubt so far and wait to see how it plays out. Because I'm with you. I don't think Spectre teaming with Superman makes no sense. But on one hand, Spectre does want to get rid of the criminals, which what Superman wants to do as well. So
Yeah.
there's kind of some logic there, but I agree. Superman's crossed that line himself, so at what point has he become the criminal? So Spectre should want to take him out as well. But I don't know. I guess I really hope this isn't the last we see of him as well. So
It'd be cool if he was like a neutral party and like Superman has the same problem. He's like, gosh, I'm so fucking tired of dealing with this fucking Spectre.
yeah,
And like Batman just now ran into him, so
I hope so as well, because a neutral Spectre makes the most sense here. I want him on Team Batman as well. Believe you me, like we're both in that same boat. Batman all the way, and what
man.
his team is all for, and they could use the help. But yeah, I would imagine he stays neutral, or hopefully not on the side of Superman. That would suck. I'm with you there. But yeah, that does it for this issue. I'm excited to see what else happens. Guys, stay tuned. We'll have more issues coming out each day until we get through this whole thing. So definitely stay tuned for the next issue tomorrow. We're having awesome. This year has already kicked off to a bang with these first two issues. A lot of exciting things happening, a lot of open new threads going on, and new characters to see interact with each other. So we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.
Adios.